Does bloom have a place in Call of Duty? Does it really? I mean, shooting your gun in Call of Duty has always meant wherever your red dot is or your front blade is, that's where the bullet lands, or that's where the hit scan used to land. And bloom is the act of a bullet deviating slightly off target, or sometimes drastically off target. Does this have a place in Call of Duty? And you might think, no, absolutely not. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, I've kind of come to that same conclusion. I think in certain games there can be a good argument towards bloom, and I have been on the unpopular side of the bloom debate in the past. Like, for instance, in Halo, I think bloom is a way to turn the combat into more of a rhythm game, and the randomness, while it is a byproduct of that, doesn't bother me. I never minded the bloom in Halo Reach, it just never bothered me, and maybe that's because I'm a casual scrub, but we're not gonna get into how much of a casual scrub I am, how about that? Fuck you. But Call of Duty's always had snappier, tighter gunplay. It's always been about sprint, stop, aim, shoot. And there are enough things that have sort of shaken up the whole running, sprinting, aiming, shooting thing in the last couple of months, from slide canceling to just new engines, new changes to idle sway, longer aim assist ranges. You got people with 1.5 long mouse pads, 240 hertz monitors playing against scrubs on a standard default controller on a 60-inch fucking 60 hertz TV with no headset. You know, it is a mess of parity in the Call of Duty world right now, and I think there's gonna be a disillusioning when it comes to crossplay, and maybe I'll do a video on it if you guys want me to, but crossplay in the way it's currently done really bothers me, because I do think keyboard and mouse controller, two different worlds, and I think keyboard and mouse has a ton of advantages and a ton of versatility, and there needs to be discussions about that. And I think mixing bloom into the mix was a really weird thing for Call of Duty Vanguard to do. Now, Call of Duty Vanguard's bloom has been like heavily reduced. It was a lot stronger during the beta alpha launch period, but now we are a little bit more consistent across the board. Bloom barely has a presence in Vanguard, but it is there. Are you going to be losing gunfights because of it? Probably not, but it is there. And what really bugs me about it is that at the end of everything, I've looked at this a lot, it's like the antithesis of the Call of Duty formula. But I can see the purpose of it, so unlike in other videos where I like a thing you guys don't like and I try to argue for it, I'm gonna look at this from the developer's perspective and see why they even attempted this, and I came up with a pretty damn good reason. And it's gonna be because of this guy on screen. Yeah, I don't have any gameplay of Modern Warfare 3 and I can't be fucked to put the disc in, but you guys remember the ACR, right? You guys remember guns like this in Call of Duty, right? You guys remember even just back in Black Ops 4 with the Auger DMR, where you could put 10 rounds in the same hole, spamming as fast as possible. And those were high damaging rounds. Call of Duty's had an issue with powerful automatic weapons, where they just have zero recoil. You dump 30 or more rounds into essentially the same little hole, and you're never really gonna have to control the recoil that much, and those rifles always take center stage. Or they have a really prominent niche, like the M27 in Black Ops 2 wasn't super meta, but it was super good. The SC-2010 in Call of Duty Ghosts, the ACR in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, or even the ICR in Black Ops 3. I mean, there's a lot of those very low recoil assault rifles, and that means you end up getting not killed at a distance, but absolutely laser beam fucked up the ass at a distance, and that needs to be talked about. Black Ops 1 had higher recoil, and the issue still cropped up with certain guns, and it was a really big issue, in my opinion, in Modern Warfare 2019, where somebody with a 60-round M4 could see the corner you were about to peek out, they could see your barrel, and they would just send 60 rounds right at head level, right past you, and you'd walk into it and die or whatever. You know, you could pre-fire somebody and not worry about losing control of your gun because you don't need to tap fire, you don't need to put your gun on semi-auto, just send 60 rounds right down range like an airsoft gun. And, you know, that's not great. There's a problem there. I feel like if you're gonna throw full auto ammunition down range like that, you should be forced to control the recoil a little bit more drastically. You should be forced to tap fire, set your gun on semi-auto, or use very specific attachments to allow for that. And, well, Part of the problem with Gunsmith is that Gunsmith allows you to customize every one of your guns. I don't take away from the rest of my class by putting a super heavy, high accuracy, high velocity barrel on my M4 in Modern Warfare, or any of the guns in any of the last 3 Call of Duty games. If I want to build all of my guns for low recoil, long range, then I can, and it works with a wide majority of the guns, and this has been a thing in Call of Duty for a long time. If not because of Gunsmith, just because of an overpowered gun, or just because recoil used to be lower. So Bloom comes in with its really tattered cape and crooked smile and shifty eyes and goes, I'll make it so you don't get lasered across the map with full auto fire. And there's merit there. There's merit in the concept, because I agree, you should have to tap fire. I wish that there was a Bloom reticle, where if you fire more than 10 rounds automatic, the Bloom reticle starts to grow. So by the time you get to your 30th round in your magazine, potentially your last round, that Bloom thing's going crazy. Like, that could work. But not in Call of Duty. Had you going there for a second, didn't I? I think Call of Duty is just sort of built on this snappy, intuitive gunplay. It's a part of the formula. And the only way you're going to fix this issue of just being lasered across the map, increase the recoil on guns that have too low of recoil. Decrease its damage over range. Just decrease how much damage per second it pumps out if it's gonna be low recoil, or increase the recoil if it's gonna be high damage. It's not that complicated. I believe we need a balance around this, but I also think it's an integral part of the Call of Duty experience that when you see somebody out in the distance, you don't have to, feather the trigger just so and worry about Bloom and random deviation and whatever, or even bullet drop for that matter. Just let them rip. And if you miss, you miss. If you don't, you don't. We already have bullet velocity, aiming stability, recoil control. Vanguard has ammo types that are so low recoil, it's like you're firing a Nerf gun, and other times it's like you're firing an actual Civil War cannon. And so that's kind of the point. We already have enough to worry about and deal with and customize. Bloom is one thing a player shouldn't have to worry about. There are so many other ways you can change up gunplay without adding randomness to a gunfight. So to answer the question, does Bloom belong in Call of Duty? No. What I think they were attempting to fix was LMGs and SMGs and ARs lasering people across the map, and if you want to fix that, nerf the guns in subtle and clever ways. The solution to shooters is almost never to add an element of randomness. So yeah, tune in next time and I'll talk about how I think suppression could work in Call of Duty, and if you want to really help me out, give me a super thanks down below, and there's also videos on screen right now. Helps me in the algorithm if you click on any of these videos that are on screen right here. I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.